The failure of the Granger administration to allocate funding for community policing in the 2015 budget came in for a heavy reproach by the opposition. Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan had defended this stance, saying the resources will be of more use in the hands of the police. He had stated it's a matter of resources versus functionality. In Budget 2014, the PPP had allocated some $413 million to community policing, a figure which allegedly resulted in deprivations to the operations of the Guyana Police Force. The General Secretary of the PPPC, Clement ROHEE, had harsh words for Public Security Minister over the handling of the community policing groups. ROHEE, at that juncture, labeled the promised improvement of the community policing groups by the Granger administration a total fallacy.
In the 2015 budget, there is no provision on the capital for community policing organization in Guyana. Contrary to what Mr. Ramjatan told the National Assembly, that the vehicle seized from community policing and handed over to the police would be returned to the community policing groups, and that there is provision in the 2015 budget for additional vehicles. Ramjatan has actually crippled.
That was PPPC General Secretary Clement ROHEE during his August 24 last media briefing. He further stated that the community policing groups have been restructured to accommodate the replacement of key officers with AFC activists who have tainted police records. In a retort, members of the governing side had cited the increased crime status under the stewardship of Mr. ROHEE. There are those, among them, Guyana Human Rights Association head Mike McCormack, who feels the community policing groups under the previous administration had become far removed from their objectives, hence restructuring was necessary.
If the community policing were organized in a way in which the members of the community who live there all day long and see what is going on, and the police had relationships that would allow them to learn things that are going on in the community in an everyday way, a lot of things could be prevented before they develop into a serious crime.
Mr. McCormack posited that such a structure will allow for enhanced trust and would greatly aid in the intellectual objective of the community policing groups. He expressed that presently the structure leaves much to be desired and would coincide with reasons given by the administration for the non-allocation of funds. The Guyana Human Rights Association had explained why the present structure, or lack thereof, is not as functional as expected.
Fortunately, at the moment, community policing has been debased into groups of largely men going around the place at night. This is policing on the cheap. The incentive to be part of it is often that you get a license for a weapon or you get access to a vehicle. This is not what community policing is supposed to be about.
The humanitarian posited that restructuring the community policing groups in a similar fashion will not be helpful. He charged that the goal should be the increased interaction of the police stations and the policing organs in the community. Mr. McCormack also stated that the community policing groups should also see the active participation of more women, since they too have considerable command of community affairs. For HGP Nightly News, Kingsley Bryan.